situation. Thank you for your support, my co-host, my studio audience. They've come from far and wide. I'm doing great. Listen, Melanie Griffith erased Antonio Banderas from her life. We've got the proof. And finally, we know why Kim was so miserable on her honeymoon in Ireland. And the situation got himself in a situation. Let's talk about it and more. It's time for Hot Topics. Thank you. I love you more. Wow. Wow, I know what it is. It's the 90-degree day we're expecting, right? That's why you're all so happy. Yeah, beautiful here again in New York. So Mike the Situation Sorrentino was arrested for getting into a fight, which I think was probably contrived to promote his show. Well, you know I'm a cynic. He reportedly got into a brawl with his brother Frank. They own a New Jersey tanning salon, if you couldn't tell by Frank's complexion, in the affluent town of Middletown, New Jersey. So the situation was arrested for assault and released on $500 bail. That is his black eye, and a little puffiness there too. But you have to realize, everybody, that this tanning salon is something, it's like one of the main plot lines in the upcoming reality show called The Sorrentinos. I know. Which happens to start on July 15th. And you know how these movie stars, heck, the actors do it too, but reality stars are notorious for cooking up a situation so that, you know, you're attracted to whatever it is that they're trying to sell you. So, you know, he's been off the scene since like 2000. When did Jersey Shore get canceled? A few years ago, you know, and Snooki and JWoww have their show going on. And the rest of them, whatever they're doing, but the situation's been off the scene. You remember, he admitted that he had a problem with substance abuse. I believe his substance of choice were pills, and he went to rehab, and he's clean and sober. So I guess through the reality show, he's going to be fighting sobriety, fighting his family, and we'll catch up with the situation. You know, the thing is that getting into family business sometimes is not the best thing. I don't know your level of tolerance. I could never get into family business, you know, like with my family, unless I was the absolute boss, like no argument, no nothing. You know what I mean? I don't think that we could have like a sandwich shop and, you know, and you know, my mom, my brother, my sister, my father, you know, we're all equal partners. No. Anyway, I haven't really thought about him in a long time to miss him off the scene, but he's so likable that I actually want to check out the show when it does come on. He's just a very, you know, he's like one of those lovable, remember he acted like a jerk, kind of, sort of on Jersey Shore, but he's a lovable jerk. And he has been off the scene for a moment. The show is going to be starting, like I told you, in July on the TV Guide Network. So, you know, maybe we should invite him over or something. Yeah, and catch up with the situation. Yeah. Well, we finally know why Kim was miserable on her honeymoon, and everything is attached to that madman she's married to. Well, Kanye is alleging that celebrity photographer Annie Leibovitz, you don't even have to be in photography to know that name, Annie Leibovitz, that's what she does. She shoots beautiful pictures, mostly of celebrities. Well, Kanye is alleging that Annie Leibovitz canceled shooting their wedding the day before the wedding. Now, see, first of all, the word is that she was a little uncomfortable with shooting, you know, them as celebrities, but that's what she does. Maybe she did not want the bad attention that goes with people who attend the Kanye-Kim wedding. You notice how a lot of celebrities backed out because it's like bad attention, not good attention. But you know what, Annie Leibovitz? You shouldn't have signed up to do it then. You don't do that to a bride. I mean, you don't do that to a bride. You shouldn't have signed up to do this. I understand why Kim might have been upset at the wedding for 5 minutes, but certainly Annie Leibovitz is not the only photographer. Why, my Andrews is shooting me right now as I talk. Good morning, Andrews. Yes. I mean, I get it. She's like the premier photographer, but there's got to be a number 2 or number 3. There's got to be something that a bride can do, or her momzilla or her groomzilla, the day before the wedding to make sure that the wedding gets shot right. So anyway, Kanye, in his madman behavior, spent 4 days on the honeymoon trying to perfect a wedding picture for Instagram. This picture right here. Now look, first of all, Kim wanted something tweeted out right away, but the madman wanted to make sure it's perfect. And he reminded her, you're like the #1 Twitter, Instagram person in the world, so when you put something out there, it's got to be perfect, especially on your big day. He was mad because the flowers were the wrong color, and whatever photography, words that there are regarding the coloring of the flowers, the coloring of her dress, the coloring of, I guess, their kiss together. It doesn't even look like a romantic kiss. No wonder why their lips look so tight. She was probably like Stevie J-ing him as going, So while they're on their honeymoon in Ireland, he insisted that they continue to perfect this picture for 4 damn days. She regrets marrying him. I mean, he is really obsessed like a woman. I'm just saying. He's really obsessed. Oh, Kim, what have you done? Ugh. Let's move on to Melanie Griffith. Hey, Kim, don't get his name tattooed on you. Well, no, she already told me. She told me this a few seasons ago when she was here on the show. She said, why would you put a bumper sticker on a Bentley? You were watching? Thank you for your support. So Melanie Griffith, she's erasing Antonio from her life. That legendary heart that she's always had on her arm. That is actually quite a pretty tattoo, as tattoos go. Well, after announcing the end of their marriage, 18-year marriage, the other week, Melanie was spotted with a little dermablend or something covering it up. Yeah. But that's what you do. First of all, the smart thing would be never to tattoo anybody's name on your body at all, unless they're your children. Unless they're your children. But if you have a son and like his name is the same name as his father, which is in the case of Kevin and Kevin, me and Kevin, then neither of them come on. Because that's okay. And he doesn't have one of me either. And smart people don't do that because it's painful to get tattoos removed. It also kind of jinxes, in my opinion, it kind of jinxes the relationship, professing that much love in such a overblown way. Beyonce got her little Jay-Z tattoo removed from her finger, and Eva Longoria had to get Tony Parker's name removed from her body, and Angelina Jolie had to get one of her many suitors' names. Whose name did she get? Oh, Billy Bob. Billy Bob. Removed from her body. Pamela Anderson had to get Tommy Lee removed. Denise Richards had to get Charlie removed, and on and on. By a show of claps, who in the audience has their lover's name tattooed on their body? Don't be embarrassed. Well, I hope that you don't live to regret it. That's all. Melanie, well, wait, put Melanie back up there. I just wanted to check her out. Yeah, poor thing. Yeah. Well, it starts with a little dermablend, and then you go in and you get it removed. Otherwise, you can keep the heart, but just get his name swirled around so you don't recognize it. Yeah. Anyway, did you hear about Malia Obama's job? Well, gosh, I mean, this was announced over the weekend. I'm late telling you, but we had so many hot topics yesterday, I ran out of time, and then so many the day before, I ran out of time. Malia Obama was working as a production assistant on Halle Berry's new TV show, Extant. Well, believe you didn't know this story. Don't you guys read like RadarOnline.com and Sandra Rose and stuff? Oh, you just watch me and wait for me to tell you? Oh, thank you. Thank you. Thank you, that's what I'm here for. Okay, well, first of all, her father, the president, was out there giving a commencement speech in California. And the family was out there, and Malia, who's 15, she'll be 16 on July 4th, she wanted to do this production assistant thing. Doesn't she have a gorgeous smile? Yes. She wanted to do this production assistant thing. So they hired her at Extant. And Steven Spielberg is either producing or he's a big dog over there at the Extant show. And the young lady was there for 1 week. For 1 week, she got production experience, production assistant experience. And that's a real job. Like here at Wendy, like that's a real job. You get real money and things like that. And you know, you might be thinking, well, why is it that at 15 years old, she's taking the job that, you know, a grown person with real bills, you know, is taking? Because of nepotism. And I find there to be nothing wrong with it. All of my life, I wish that my parents could have nepotized me into some job. I'm going to tell you right now, if you could be nepotized, wouldn't you take it? What is the purpose of working your fingers to the bone if you can't help out your son or your daughter or something like that? I believe in that, but I also believe in cracking skull and saying you better do it right. You know what I'm saying? Like, for instance, I'll tell you about Malia. Malia did the coffee runs. She did, like, the grunt work that production assistants do. She wasn't some self-entitled princess, and I think that that's terrific. Nobody's talking bad about her. Nobody feels bad that she was working there. She blended with everybody. The Secret Service stayed way over there, but also so they could see her. But, you know, way over there. And she got along with everybody. And I think it's terrific, because you know what? Behavior like that starts at the top. It starts with her mother and father who said, okay, we're gonna call up, you know, Spielberg and get you this job. Of course, I'm the president. I can get you whatever you want. But when you get hired, I want you to do that job better than anybody else there, because you know that people are gonna say, people are gonna say that you got it because you're the president's kid. I remember my niece had an internship here at the Wendy show. You're damn right I nepotized. But I have to tell you, communications major, St. John's, this was, you know, many years ago, and she wanted to be a newscaster, you know, and she wanted to see the inner workings of how, you know, it all goes down. So, you know, here at the show, she was always on her best behavior. Everybody really liked her here. She went and got the coffee and cleaned stuff up off the floor or whatever. And that was like 3 years ago. And now she's a newscaster in Huntsville, Alabama. So it all worked out. It all worked out. And if I could nepotize my son, you know, later on, he's only 13 now, but I work hard every day to be able to nepotize. Jennifer Hudson's latest fashion statement has her fans in an uproar. And also, most of the people here at Wendy, Jennifer. Well, it all started over her high heel Giuseppe sneakers. Well, Jennifer wears the pair of sneakers in her video called Walk It Out. Well, they don't come like that. She obviously got them spray painted and graffiti-ized, and a lot of the video is spent, you know, focusing on her feet. And she passes guys and they catcall her, and her fiance of 5 years, David, is one of the guys, so he's in it too. See, are these the worst sneakers in the world? She's wearing them. Okay, wait. Be very honest, clap if they're ugly. She's wearing them for her video. What's the matter with you all? I mean, fashion is very subjective. I think that Suzanne's pants are very ugly. I'm sorry, Suzanne. I'm sorry, Suzanne. Don't go home, I'm sorry. But then again, she thinks that my flowered sneakers are ugly, and so do most people who follow me on Facebook. Show my flowered sneakers. You all think they're ugly as I don't know what. Now let me tell you something. Well, I love them. They're made of lace and they are mesh, so the wind blows through them, and they're beautiful for this time of year, and I love them. Now, you might not love them, but I do. However, they're made of very delicate lace flowers, but I can show you the sneakers that Jennifer has on without being spray painted, because I have a pair too, and I like them better plain, Jen. Yeah, they look better plain. Anyway, but whatever. A lot of people watching right now don't like my outfit. What do I care? What do I care? I'm gonna be 50 next month. There's very little I care about. As a matter of fact, isn't today June 18th? Is today June 18th? Yes. 1 month from today. I wonder when Jennifer is going to marry David. That's the bigger picture here. Yeah, I don't really understand 5-year engagements. I know there are many people watching right now, probably some people in the audience who've been engaged way too long. An engagement is supposed to be the drum roll to the ceremony. Like that. A 5-year engagement ought to be illegal. Somebody needs to be arrested. And the thing is that, and once you get engaged, you can't blame people for saying, so when are you going to get married? Because you're engaged. Most people these days understand living together and loving and having a bunch of kids without getting married. Like we understand that. If that's the intention of a lot of people, you know, then just do that. But a 5-year engagement is really a long drum roll. And we're all wondering, will they ever get married? You know, just because he was in the video, that doesn't mean anything. You know, she didn't have to pay him. You know what I mean? You know, you have to pay extras in the video. Anyway, Jen, I love your hair, don't love the sneakers, and when are you getting married? Simon Cowell have something in common. We don't hold our tongues when we talk to our kids. Now, of course, he has a newborn, Eric, and Eric can't understand yet. Yes, he is breastfeeding. In public, I might add. Simon says that, you know, if his son wants to be a singer, he will be honest with his son about his voice. Like, son, you don't have talent. Now, see, I believe in that also. I've told this to you before. Every boy on the Little League team does not need a trophy. You give the trophies to the MVPs and the good players. The rest of them need to deal with life that everybody is not a winner. You understand? You know, and I think I learned that tough talking from my own parents. My father used to always tell me, Wendy, you're so pretty, but you're fat if you would just lose some weight. Now, it hurt my feelings, but I got a talk show now. Speaking, the way I like to deal with Kevin is I don't attack his dreams directly. I go around the dream. You see, like for instance, he always wanted to be an NBA basketball player. He's obsessed with basketball. That's what he wanted to do. I don't want him to be an NBA basketball player because I feel like on account of my skin, is that all we do is entertain and play sports? Including me being here, is that all we do? Like I want him to be a scientist or something. I want him to be a boss, not an entertainer. And so, you know, me and his father, we have this way of tag teaming and talking around it. Like, you don't want to be an NBA player, you know. Sometimes they're less than smart, sometimes. You have a shelf life in your career, sometimes. You have to deal with the superficiality of the world saying, another black basketball player. And so anyway, so we talked around it, and he no longer wants to be an NBA player. As a matter of, yeah, please. And he thinks that he figured it out for himself, when in reality, me and my husband used the Jedi mind trick on him.